turn it. This is for Marty. For Marty down the right sideline with a head of steam to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
Alright guys, welcome to more coverage of the Sylvan Bowl. I am your host today, Heretic U, and today we're looking at the final matchup of round 1. Khemri versus Chaos Dwarfs. We are in the middle of the first half, and what you just saw there was a massive scramble for the ball as it popped loose from player to player, and it ended up in a Hobgoblin's hands. But he is surrounded by Khemri, so Phil, the Chaos Dwarf player, is going to have to figure out how to bust loose and get down to the end zone. So let's take a look at Squashington. That's the Chaos Dwarfs, as we see this massive mosh pit in the center of the pitch there. They're coming in with 2 Bull Centaurs. One is skilled up with block, 6 Chaos Dwarves. One of them is skilled up with guard. That would be Steel Crusher is his name. And Rory the Hobgoblin has sure hands. He has 2 rerolls, and his team value is at an even 1100. So moving on to the Life Takers, we take a look at their roster. They have 4 Tomb Guardians, basically mummies. One skilled up with Mighty Blow. Let's see, 2 Blitzers, 2 Throwers, and some Skeletons. Now, one Skeleton is +1 edge, so you can finally get a player that can pick up the ball now. Also, they have 3 rerolls, and their team value is coming in at 1300 right now. So 3 turns left in the first half here. As you can see, we're pretty much locked up in the center of the pitch. Now you see Kevin starting to get some 3-die blocks. There's a 3-die block there. Not happy with that result, so he's going to re-roll it and try to knock him down. Not sure if I agree with that call. The way I look at it is, whenever you're throwing block dice, expect a push. Don't always aim for the POW, especially in a game like this where rerolls are, I think they should be used for offensive purposes, trying to pick up the ball, maybe trying to pass, because eventually either team is going to have to think offense to get out of this and advance to the next round. So let's take a look at Kevin's turn here, basically recovering his guys from this massive block battle that's happening. He's going to start to play a little. He's conscious of where the ball's at, and is thinking that Phil is going to try to develop a run play down that wideout. So you see he's trying to plug up that lane and mark as many players as possible. However, you can see that Phil has a couple of players free, so this is potentially dangerous situation for the Khemri, because he's got a Bull Centaur, as you can see there. Phil is moving him, contemplating how many spaces he wants that Bull Centaur down the field. Now he's got a guy that could potentially score on the final turn before the end of the half. He also has a Chaos Dwarf free. Now I would have personally thrown him down the field as a second option. Let's see what Phil does here. It looks like he just sort of left him. That's interesting. So here we go. Phil has declared a pass. He is going to make a couple of crazy dodges first to try to get just in closer range there. And here goes the final dodge, and he fails it, and he falls down. So not only losing possession of the ball, but time is also escaping As we can see here, Kevin is put a tackle zone on the ball and has thrown a single block die on the Minotaur and begins to try and pummel the Dwarves, but he rolls double coconuts and commits a turnover himself. So final turn, Phil's got a shot here. Starts by declaring a blitz on that skeleton. One die blitz gets the POW. Amazing shot there, and then tries to go for the ball, and it looks like he drops it. Yep, he drops it, and so we're going to end this half with a 0-0 score. Be interesting to see what kind of adjustments both coaches make, but as you can see, Kevin is going to take his last turn, and it's pretty safe. He will be getting the ball next half, and so Khemri doing their job, playing good defense, and we'll pick it up at the half. So second half action here. Let's take a look at the opening setup. You can see that the Chaos Dwarves are going with a really shallow zone, which is, I think, is a pretty smart move considering the slow moving Khemri. So you can see his front line there is such that if the mummies follow up on their blocks, they will already be pre-marked by the dwarves there. So it's a pretty smart move. You can see Kevin's already falling for that. As each mummy throws a block, he falls up and he's already marked by a dwarf. So we're going to see the Chaos Dwarves begin to potentially go right at the mummies there. And then we have our first both down result, resulting in a turnover.
That mummy is just disgraced.
Dude, his hobgoblins have been the best hitters on his team yet so far this match. One die blocks have been in his favor hugely.
So let's take a look at Phil's turn here. The Chaos Dwarves are moving in that Bull Centaur to apply some pressure there. And you can see all of the mummies that are standing are now marked by dwarves. So it's a pretty effective tactic he used on that opening setup to lure the mummies in there. So he can start taking the fight to him. You see he's got a straight up block there and gets lucky with a POW, takes that mummy down. And now he's actually going to have some 2-die blocks on the mummy, and another mummy is down. So Chaos Dwarves just abusing the front line of the Khemri, even at strength 5. So brilliant opening setup by Phil.
Strength 5, no problem. Where's this guy? Yeah, he's right there.
Alright, so let's take a look at the opening drive by the Khemri here. Pretty smart play by protecting the ball, but now they've got to respond to the Chaos Dwarf pressure, and you can see there's a attempt at the ball, and the pickup is good. So we got the ball in the hands of one of the Khemri throwers. And now they're going to have to deal with the 2 Bull Centaurs that are in the backfield threatening them. So they're getting marked up and getting kind of tossed around there. So you got a 2-die block and the mummy standing up. Probably would have stood the mummies up first before throwing the blocks, but you know, these guys like to throw blocks. These guys want to hurt each other pretty badly and establish who's the best bash team of the league. And that'll do it for the Khemri.
Alright. Turn 2. Let's see what the hell I can do to salvage this situation.
So here we go, turn 2, Chaos Dwarves. Kevin's got the ball moving forward, but as you can see there, he's got he exposed it. So we'll see what the Chaos Dwarves do to take advantage of that. They could set up a pretty decent blitz on that and get the ball loose in the backfield. That would be extremely dangerous. So you can see here comes the mark with the Hobgoblin. And now we got the blitz coming. Chaos Dwarfs just trying to position themselves. So you had to make 2 go for it, but it's a 2-die block. And the POW is good. The ball is loose. So Chaos Dwarf pressure in the backfield paying off. Forced Khemri into a situation where they broke out of their own cage. And now you can see the Chaos Dwarves continuing to punish the Khemri front line. Phil throwing a bunch of 1-die blocks. And then throws a 2 uphill and commits a turnover. So with that turnover, we go back to the Khemri. As you can see there, the thrower, the guy that had the ball, was actually stunned, so he's rolling over. Khemri trying to lay some blocks on that Bull Centaur and trying to get him away from that ball. Obviously a concern for them since the ball is unsecured and it's pretty close to their end zone. So Khemri is throwing some blocks here. And we have a mummy on Dwarf. We've got busted armor, and the injury goes through. So early second half, Phil is down a Chaos Dwarf. That's gonna hurt. Definitely. So the Khemri now having a numbers advantage on the pitch. They also have a reserve advantage. So it'll be interesting to see how Phil and the Chaos Dwarves deal with being down a guy, especially a Chaos Dwarf. That's like I said, they're one of my picks for best lineman out of the gate. So we can see now he still hasn't used the blitz, so he's gonna go ahead and mark a player and throw that blitz. And we'll end his turn with a decent shove.
I think that's it.
I like it. He didn't even go for the ball.
That's it. Oh. That's it. Yep.
Okay, so now we begin the Chaos Dwarves. How will they handle this? They've got the ball still on the ground. No one on the Khemri team went for it. Anyways, see Phil contemplating how to pick up that ball. He's got a couple Khemri players by there, but it's right between the Bull Centaur and the Hobgoblin. So he's got a decent shot at this. Let's see what play he comes up with. So he starts with declaring a blitz using that Chaos Dwarf there to sort of free the Bull Centaur of a Khemri defender. It's a 2-die block, and he's able to push him out of the way. And now a dodge pickup by the Bull Centaur. And he fails the dodge there, so that will cause a turnover and a knockdown Bull Centaur. Okay, so going right into the Khemri turn here, they start off with a blitz with the mummy, and the mummy actually needed to go for it, but he gets a 3-die block from that. So from that block, he was actually able to knock out the Hobgoblin and get another player off the pitch. So things are turning around for the Khemri here in the second half, and now they start to surround the ball in tackle zones.
This is happening. Declaring a pass. All right, go for the ball. Three, 4+ with sure hands. With sure hands. Nope.
No! Scatter the ball.
So a good break for the Chaos Dwarfs. As you can see, the ball popped out loose from that dropped pickup, and Phil has quickly starts standing up his guys, which is good, and positioning the Hobgoblin to get across the line of scrimmage and hopefully get in there next turn if they fail another ball pickup. So now Phil is going to be punishing the Khemri's front line. Starts off with some pretty good blocks, was able to knock down a guy. Throws another set of blocks here. And was able to push a guy and got the crowd push into the ball. So his Bull Centaur got a free pickup, but unfortunately was unable to convert from that free pickup. A pretty smart move from Phil and the Chaos Dwarfs by not trying to pick up the ball too early and get a turnover. Instead, push a guy onto the ball, get a free chance at it, and then maybe come back to it later. So Phil continuing to bash and punish mummies, even throwing a 2 uphill block on that mummy there and getting the best and knocking him down. So he's going to try his luck again and throw a single block or double block die and rolls double skulls. So the Khemri resume after the turnover by the dwarves off the double coconuts. They start by going right after that Bull Centaur. Once again, that mummy just roaming around, putting hits on guys. He's putting in work. He's definitely putting in work. They're clearing out all enemies near the ball. As you can see, Kevin lining up some pretty good blocks on the Chaos Dwarfs, but he's not too happy with push results. So he burns a reroll just to knock that dwarf, on his back. And now he's going for the ball. Fails the first roll, but he does have sure hands. Picks it up and now is going for it.
Wah, 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 wah. Let's see about the armor. That was it?
Spit the ball.
See about the ball.
It's his ball.
That's true, it is your ball.
But I like that roll.
Two works out.
That works alright.
So Phil has another shot at that ball as the failed go for it results in a turnover. Let's see what play he comes up with. Starts by picking up his Bull Centaur and picking up down guys, and he's going right for the ball.
Pick up the goddamn ball. Oh! Damn it!
This ball is elusive too. Alright, my turn.
Turn to you.
Oh my god.
My dice have betrayed me. Here.
And so we got another turnover by the Chaos Dwarves here. So Khemri may waste no time. Mark the lone goblin who is next to the ball and is setting up a blitz. So gets the POW and sure hands paying off. So his throwers got the ball and makes a couple of go for it rolls to give him some breathing room from all that dwarf on the line of scrimmage there. So you can see now they begin punishing the dwarves, hopefully knocking them down and knocking them out of position. So a pretty good recovery by Kevin, considering he had just lost the ball. So things looking desperate for the dwarves now. So we have an Amazon player. Phil's playing Chaos Dwarfs. He has Khemri.
Okay.
I'm gonna try my shot at goblins myself.
All right, straight dice.
Oh no!
All right.
No!
See, that would be 8.
Nope. It's on.
He's armor 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. All
It's
right.
your turn.
Turn 6. Let's see if I can salvage this debacle.
So here we go, Chaos Dwarfs with another chance to stop the Khemri advance here. Looks like they just have to throw a couple of key blocks and free up a couple of players to mark that Khemri thrower who's wide open for a blitz action. So they start with a 2-die block on a mummy. Let's see how that turns out. They get a push, which is pretty good, so they got already one player out of the way. There's a single block die on a second mummy, and he actually gets a POW. So here comes the blitz. Dwarf gets a push on a single block die. Now we're experiencing some technical difficulties, but basically he's going to roll a skull and turn the ball over.
What'll happen, guys? Does it?
Yeah.
Do it.
Ooh,
Snap. Crackle.
oh, stunned him though.
And pop.
Alright, my turn. Big turn, big turn, big turn.
Dodge. So here we go. Khemri turn 7. One block away from a possible score and a trip to the semifinals. What is it going to be? Coach calls the play, declares the blitz, and gets a push. And that thrower has daylight.
You gotta do it. Go for
Doing
it.
it. Doing it. Go for it.
Turn 7.
Uh-oh.
And second one.
Now go for the corner. Go for the corner. Go for the corner. It's the way the ball scatters. It's the way the ball scatters.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Who is this?
So the Khemri score first, making it a 1-0 match with 2 turns left. Chaos Dwarves will have to go to their hurry up offense. 2 turns, plenty of time to score, but it does put a lot of pressure on that player to basically they have to play 2 flawless turns in order to get that last second touchdown. Let's take a look at Kevin's setup here. He's got most of his guys on the line. He's got a medium zone, which is pretty good. And take a look at Phil's setup here. He is going to he's got 4 potential ball carriers in the back, and he's got both centaurs set up for shotgun formation. So looking at the kick, they roll throw a rock and roll off here, and one of Kevin's guys is going down as they randomize it. And let's take a look at where the ball ends up. It'll scatter out of bounds, so ideal situation for the Chaos Dwarves. Let's see if they can take advantage here.
Yep.
Go for it.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
So the touchback results in Phil getting a ball right to his bull centaur. So he didn't actually need all the hobgoblins in the backfield. And as you can see, he ran that bull centaur right down the wideout. So now he's just going to try and knock over guys. Probably tie up defenders so that they can't get a blitz on that bull centaur. And then he quickly moves his other bull centaur down the field as some insurance, possibly in case the ball gets knocked out of bounds. At least he'll have a bull centaur in scoring position. So
Oh,
Uh-oh. No, stun.
Turn to you.
It's got one shot.
Mummy touchdown! Mummy touchdown!
Alright, blitz. You
How
out.
far does he move?
5. I counted it. One die.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Both.
I got blocked.
Down.
I've got blocked.
Oh no!
Just need a push. I just need a push. There,
Oh!
there we go.
What does the crowd say?
So that will send the Bull Centaur into the crowd, and injury result was just stunned, so he goes into the reserves. But the ball does scatter pretty close to the second Bull Centaur, as you can see in the middle of the pitch. So Phil still does have a shot here to tie it up, as Kevin is trying to counter that by putting the Bull Centaur in a number of tackle zones and the ball in a tackle zone. So it's going to take some serious dodging and a pretty good pickup roll to get that ball, but it's not impossible. So Chaos Dwarfs have one more shot after this, as Kevin gets a both down result, and both players are knocked down the pitch, and we move on to Phil's final turn. Okay, so here's the final turn. Basically, if we could break this down, if you look at where his Phil's Bull Centaur is, he is surrounded by 2 Khemri players, and there's another Khemri player surrounding the ball. So Phil is thinking about declaring a final blitz, which would require a dodge roll. But the way he's positioned, there is no safe empty square to dodge into, so he's got to dodge into an opposing tackle zone, which is going to put him at a 5+. So brilliant positioning by the Khemri here. Now, even if he gets that roll off, he's got at least a 2-die block coming up, and then a final pickup to make it into the end zone. Now, if he fails any of these rolls, his turn is over, and the Khemri will advance to the semifinals, where they face my Skaven team. But that, with everything being said, this was an incredible game to watch. It was very close, and it's basically coming down to this final move. And you gotta love it when games come down to like a single die roll like this. So I'm just gonna let the camera run, and let's see what happens. The ball too.
Or he can push him in the ball and hopefully the ball will pop back to him.
Man,
Even if he doesn't knock
I don't like one in each. And I gotta get going. So the
he loves it, man.
so I've got to roll for the dodge.
Right?
So
The roll.
Straight agility, so you're gonna need a 5-6.
5 or 6. I got no rerolls.
that's good.
No, that's it.
That's the game.
That's game.
Game. Good game.
Game, man. Oh.
Now roll the 1-die block.
The 1 die